our channel. I'm Karen.
And I'm Lauren. And we have a special guest today. I'm Julie.
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 For those of you guys that do know Julie, she's been in so many of our cooking videos, as well as a DIY mantle video of mine. So she's a jack of all trades, huh?
Yes. I'm putting down my hammer today and picking up the pizza peel.
Oh, we're excited. So what are you going to make for us today?
Today we are going to make homemade Italian pizzas. It's going to be amazing.
It is, and I'll tell you the great thing about this is, you know, lately, you know, none of us can really travel, and that's like you live in Italy, you can have this delicious pizza, but we're going to show you, or she's going to show you, how you can have Italian homemade pizza that is just amazing.
And we're going to do it out on the grill, so it's not going to heat up your house in the hot summer days.
I love it. You guys are going to love all the things that we're going to talk about. We're going to share the prep, the before, all the work that Lauren and I did, huh, Lauren?
Yep, during and after, and it's going to be delicious.
And she's going to go and do all the cooking and the tossing of the dough and the delicious toppings. And I think we're just going to put the camera on you and let you share your tips with all of our followers and subscribers, and show just a fun night you can have with family, you know, or your close-knit little group of friends, and just enjoy some delicious pizza.
I'm
looking
ready.
forward to it.
I'm ready, Julie.
Okay, let's go.
All right, we're going to head into Rulli Brothers, and we have a list of things, Lauren.
We do, and they're all going to be delicious. And this is like the perfect place to come for all the ingredients we need for our little pizza party.
And like we mentioned earlier, that if you're lucky enough to have an Italian market in your area, that's where you really want to go to get all the specific, delicious ingredients for your pizza party. Want to head on in?
Yep, I'm ready.
Okay. The mozzarella balls for our pizza party.
Thank you.
Lauren, a good pizza always starts with what?
Really good dough. And we have some phenomenal dough. This is from Mazzaro's Italian Market down in St. Pete. Bev and Julie were kind enough to bring us this fabulous fresh dough. Now what you want to do when you're making your pizzas, you want to get the dough to room temperature. So we pulled it out of the fridge. It's been sitting out about an hour. Just, you know, just touch it a little bit.
Having fun playing with the dough.
I have.
This is so fun. It's light and airy.
I know. So as long as it's room temp, you're good to go.
All right.
And what,
You want some sauce?
oh yeah.
The best sauce ever, thanks to Bev and Julie.
You guys, we've both talked about this several times on our vlogs and videos and favorites. And this is the Don Pepino Jersey Fresh pizza sauce. Gotta have something good, and it is delicious and fresh.
Very delicious. Now, we talked about some of the toppings that we're gonna put on our pizzas. But of course, to me, one of my favorites is nothing like a fresh basil. Love fresh basil from my garden. We all laugh. I've got two things in my garden, basil and mint. But anyway, this is fresh basil. To me, fresh basil with fresh mozzarella on pizza is just my favorite.
Superb.
It is superb. And another thing that we're going to use too, along with, I think it's going to be the caramelized onions and goat cheese, is of course some balsamic glaze. Now, Julie can talk about this when she is going, you know, when she's making the pizzas, but I said, oh my goodness, I need to pick up some more glaze. She says, oh, I'll just whip some up. I'm like, oh my goodness, you gotta save some time a little bit here. So get some good glaze, you guys. I mean, if you are handy, go ahead and whip some up. But there's so many great brands of balsamic glaze, and this is a really good one. And so we wanted to share these extra toppings with you.
Yes, it's gonna be delicious. I cannot wait.
Me too. We're gonna start getting everything together. We're gonna show you the caramelized onions. We're gonna go ahead and brown up the sausage.
Yep, gotta get the
and we're
sausage
waiting for
going.
Chef Julie to get here to start whipping up these delicious pizzas.
We're doing a little food prep right now for our pizza, and if you, oh my God, I am
You
like,
can do it. You can do
what?
it.
I'm drawing a blank. Okay, wait a minute.
These are just a few tips we're gonna share with you.
We're doing a little food prep right now for our pizza, so we're going to share a few tips with you that you can do in advance to really enhance the flavor of your pizza. So as you see here, we have fresh mozzarella, and this usually comes in water. Now you don't want soggy pizza, so you're going to want to drain the mozzarella, and then as you see we have it on paper towels just to get all that water out, and then we'll slice it up. Now you want to use fresh ingredients. That's the key here to just have an amazing tasting pizza. Now you can also, you want to skip the bagged shredded mozzarella and go for fresh. And we also know that there are recipes online that you can even make your own hand-pulled mozzarella. So as you can see, we have the fresh mozzarella balls here, and then we are also have a block here that we're going to be shredding.
So we're going to share with you the toppings that we're going to put on our pizza, and we're going to go ahead and brown up some hot sausage. We've got some fresh thinly sliced prosciutto, and of course some pepperoni. Julie's going to whip up some with goat cheese, and I think some caramelized onions, which are cooking in the background, so if there is a little bit of noise, that's what that is. And we're going to saute some mushrooms, and we're going to go ahead and cut up the mozzarella cheese here into these thinner slices, like right here. And then we just got done shredding the fresh mozzarella, so we have some shredded as well as Lauren said, and we've got the fresh balls here that we're going to slice up. So we're going to go ahead and show you how we're going to caramelize the onions and go ahead and brown up a little bit the mushrooms, and then start putting all this together.
So the first thing that we're going to do to get started is get the grill lighted and put our pizza stone on it, because you want your pizza stone to warm up with the grill, and that will help keep from breaking your stone. And also you want your stone to be hot when you slide your pizza onto it, so that you get a nice crust on the bottom of your crust, the bottom of your pizza. So this stone is only rated to be 450 degrees. My stone at home is rated much higher than that, and I normally like to cook the pizza at around 700 degrees, but we're going to be working with 450 today, so it's just going to take a few minutes longer, but it's still going to be delicious. Okay, so we're just going to put our stone here on the middle of the grill. Now once the stone is heated up, I'm going to turn down the center burners so they're a little bit lower temperature than the outside burners. It will make your pizza cook a little more evenly and not have hot spots or burn spots. And whatever we've talked about today about the pizza stones and the pizza peel, that kind of thing, the girls will put links on the bottom of the video for you to click on to check those out.
Our friend Jody stopped over this evening for our very small gathering, and she brought her delicious sushi. So if you guys want to learn how to make this, I will link the video that we did with Jody in the description section. Doesn't it look good?
Delicious.
Hi guys. So as Lauren mentioned, here's my sushi. We brought this tonight to go along with our pizza. Probably Chinese, Italian, not the best combo, but anyway, there it is. It's not pretty tonight, it's just in a foil pan, but it still tastes the same.
Okay, so let's get started with our first pizza. What we're going to do is take just a little bit of regular all-purpose flour and spread it out on a clean surface, and we're going to use that as a place that we can start stretching the dough. So once you get it out of the wrapper, or if you've made it fresh, you'll just want to coat the outside in a little bit of the flour so that it doesn't stick to your hands while you're trying to do the stretching. And then we're just going to work our fingers around the edge, kind of pushing out as we're going. Another thing too, I took my ring off. I just left my band on, because your ring, once we start doing maybe a little tossing or stretching, you'll see that you can poke a hole in your crust really easily. You can also just turn it around too if you want to, so the stone's on the back side of your hand. Okay, so now we're going to start stretching it out. And I think the girls probably talked about this. We want to make sure that your dough is at room temperature. If you're fresh out of the refrigerator and it's still cold, it's going to shrink back in and will not stay stretched out.
So Julie, we have a question.
Sure.
Like the dough that you have there, I know people can maybe opt to make their own dough, but again, we shared how amazing this dough is from Mazzaro's. But how big of a pizza does this specific dough make?
It depends on how far or how thin you stretch it out, how big your pizza stone is, how much room you have for it. But it's going to be about a 14-inch pizza, 12 to 14 inches. My stone at home is actually a rectangle, so you don't have to be quite so perfect with the shape of your pie, and it's a little bit easier to slide off of the peel and onto the stone.
Okay, I have a question, Julie. What about like the crust? Is it going to be like a thinner crust or medium or like a thick crust?
This is going to be more like a hand tossed that you see from a pizza store. It's not a super thin crust. It all depends on how thin you stretch it out. If you try to get too thin as an amateur, I found that I poke holes in it.
Lauren, if you and I would do this, it would probably end up on our heads.
It
Lucy
sure
and
would.
Ethel. Okay, so this is stretched pretty good. Now one more time around the edge. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to use some semolina flour. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. But what that does is that acts as like a little ball bearings, a way for the pizza dough to slide right off of the peel. So this is what I have. I just got it on Amazon. But I'm going to spread some of this on my pizza peel. Okay, and again, the girls will put links for everything that we've talked about and that we're using tonight. I got a little bit too much, so we'll put some over here for our next pizza. I think on this first one we'll go with a Margarita Pizza. So again, if you just put this dough on here, it would want to stick, but see how it slides with that semolina flour. I'm going to give it one more little stretch. Now, the next thing that I'm going to do is for the crust, I'm going to brush the edges of it with a good olive oil and season it with a little Italian seasoning and maybe a pinch of garlic. What that does is it helps the crust, the outer rim, brown nicely and evenly, as well as give it a little extra flavor with the seasonings. You do want to be careful though when you're brushing your pizza dough that you don't want to get the olive oil on your peel, because then the dough will not slide off. It'll get stuck from the olive oil. So just make sure you stay up on the top part of the crust. Okay, so I'm going to use the Don Pepino's pizza sauce. It's a delicious sauce. It's not a sugary sauce. There's actually no sugar added to it, and it's the best pizza sauce that you're going to taste, I guarantee you. I use about a half a can per pizza.
Julie, I have a question for you. I know sometimes when I've made homemade pizza in the past, not sure if you feel the same way, Lauren, but I felt like sometimes the center of my pizza was a little bit mushy because of sauce. So how do you get that from not happening?
I have found that cooking on a pizza stone, I don't really have that problem. Maybe it's because you're not cooking at a high enough temperature. It gets a little soggy or mushy in the middle. When I was talking about heating your pizza stone up prior to sliding your pizza onto it. That's what's going to get that nice crispness on the bottom of your crust. Okay. So what I think is a really fun thing about having a pizza party and make it home is that you can be really creative with your toppings, or you can kind of mimic one of your favorite local pizza establishments too, or something that you've had when you're on vacation. The first one I think we're going to do is a Margarita Pizza, because everybody likes that one. One thing that we're going to start off with is some fresh mozzarella. Now, I think the girls talked about it, but what I did was have them slice it up and put it out on paper towels. And what the paper towels do is they remove all of the excess water that's in mozzarella. Because if you may have fresh mozzarella, it's actually made from cheese curds and hot water with a little salt. And they hand stretch it is the best way to get it, if you can get hand stretched. And that's how they make mozzarella pizza, or mozzarella cheese. So I like to put my fresh on, a couple more, and then a little bit of the shredded mozzarella too. Just a nice combination of cheeses, gives you different texture, and also helps fill in some of the holes between the mozzarella. Okay. You never have too much cheese as far as I'm concerned. Okay. And we're going to use some nice sliced tomatoes, and when it comes out, we'll put some fresh basil on it. Okay, so let's go ahead and slide this onto the grill. Our grill is nice and hot. Right now we're at about 425, right at the top of our allowable temperature for the pizza stone. Just give it a little shimmy. It slides right off onto there. Okay, so that one's in. We're going to check back on this in about 9 or 10 minutes. When I do it at a higher temperature, it only takes about 7 or 8. But let's check in in about 9 minutes. So we only have about 2 or 3 more minutes left to cook this pizza, but what I'm going to do is just give it a quick rotation because it's kind of far back in the grill, and I want to make sure that it is going to be evenly done around the crust. Okay, this one's has taken just a few minutes longer than we expected because the dough didn't want to stretch out very far for me on this one. But let's just take a quick little peek under here. Yeah, that looks great. Nice and golden brown on the bottom. What I like to do is use a wooden or a bamboo cutting board to put my pizzas out onto, because they're porous. So if you put it on something that's glass or metal, then it's going to basically steam the crust of your pizza and get rid of all that crust that we worked so hard to get, the crispness. And now that it's out, we're going to sprinkle a little bit of basil. And you also might want to have like some crushed red pepper flakes or some other, if you have other Italian peppers that you like, just have a few extra things at the table that people can add to the pizza too.
So one key ingredient with your fresh Italian pizza is a good red wine. This one is a Ghost Pines. It's a Cabernet Sauvignon that we're drinking tonight. And
great.
those yummy peppers, huh, Lauren?
Yes, so these are cut sport peppers, and these are really good. Obviously, you know, homemade Italian peppers, any kind that you like, but you can easily pick these up at Italian market. You can just add them to the pizza, put them on the pizza, and grill it like Julie did, however you like it.
Okay, so the first pizza was a hit. This one I think we're going to cater to the guys a little bit though, and do some sausage and pepperoni. Okay, this is what I was alluding to a little bit earlier when I talked about how you can make anything that you want. So we had somebody that wanted sausage and onion, somebody just wanted sausage, we got pepperoni and mushroom, and pepperoni over here. Another fun thing to do is if you cut your dough in half before you start, you can make individual pizzas and let everyone top their own. That makes a fun pizza party too. Okay, so we've had quite the night tonight with our pizza party. And this is going to be our last pizza, switch it up a little bit. And what I'm going to do is actually use a fig spread or fig jam instead of pizza sauce on this pizza. And then we're going to add some fresh prosciutto, caramelized onions, and goat cheese. It's going to be delicious. Okay, so this is our last pizza. Like we said, we started off with that fig jam, the caramelized onions, goat cheese, and prosciutto. And just to finish it off, we're going to use some balsamic glaze.
To end this evening, we are going to enjoy this delicious cannoli dip dessert.
Julie, thank you so much for sharing your talents tonight with all of us. And we just can't wait to hear your thoughts, you guys.
It's been an amazing night, and Julie, I know she's taught us a lot about pizza making. I hope you guys learned so much from this video and you thoroughly enjoyed it, and it's something that you can do with your family and friends.
So thank you, Julie.
Thank you, Julie. You're amazing.
Oh, thanks. I can't wait to see some of the comments to see what kind of pizzas you guys tried.
Yeah, please share with us in the comment section, you guys. Good night. Thank you so much.
Enjoy. Manja.
Manja.